All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this session on a Monday. And this is actually my third session with the Next Level All Star group. And today, something very special. I'm not going to talk about business teardown. It's not going to be Wirecard. It's not another scam in the business sector or which best stock to invest in. I'm going to talk about something that I'm actually not qualified to talk about, right? And it is this area of cryptocurrency and blockchain. Okay, so now, guys, I will let you all slowly stream in, but once again, welcome here. Now, if you can hear me, let's just do a sound check very clearly. If you can hear me, type in yes. Okay, type in yes. So let me say hi to a few people. Hi, David. All right, Gordon as well. All right, Prima. Hi, Prima. How's everything going? Okay. So now the next thing is this. I want to know how many of you are already investors. Okay, you are investing in the blockchain or crypto space. Can you type in C or BC? Okay, crypto or blockchain. All right, because today or tonight, very, very special thing is, oh, David can hear me loud and clear. Oh, that's very good. That's very good. All right, Wendy can hear me as well. Awesome. Okay, so where was I? Okay, tonight, there's a very special thing because I'm gonna bring on a very special guest, all right, a dear friend, and he's really in the space for the longest time in his career. Later, I'll go through a little bit about him. Okay, and I really want you guys to make full use of this opportunity, right, to tap on his mind in terms of understanding blockchain and crypto, because to me, he's kind of like an insider because he has been there and worked with businesses and understanding how cryptocurrency works, how blockchain can be applied in businesses as well. Okay, now let me just quickly give you guys some background about who am I talking about. Okay, he is none other than one of our presenters actually in the Next Level All Star group, Rudy Lim. Okay, he's the ventures partner at this fund called the Blockchain Founders Fund. All right, that's why I call him the insider, because to him this is like day in day out. Every day he thinks about it, he talks about it, he works with people about blockchain and cryptocurrency as well. Okay, now some background about Rudy, right? Like, who is Rudy? You can see this very handsome gentleman over here. Okay, he was previously the head of fintech at DBS, right? DBS Innovation Group, and even before that, he was actually the head of the venture accelerator. Okay, so it's kind of like an incubator at the Singapore Press Holdings. Okay, so his whole career has been about startup, entrepreneurship, fintech, and the most powerful thing is, right, when I went to his LinkedIn, right? So later maybe we'll ask him about it. When I went to his LinkedIn, I was like, this guy is crazy, right? Look at his education profile, guys. Okay, so if you look at his education profile, basically all the top universities he's been there already, right? He went to Tsinghua, he went to NTU, he went to University of Washington, and then he capped it off by going to Stanford. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is one great opportunity that I feel is very important, right? If you want to invest in something, no matter what it is, right? Talk to people who are in the industry, practicing it, okay, so that you get the latest up-to-date information. Okay, now, without further ado, let me bring on my dear friend and also someone that is really insider in the area, Mr. Rudy Lim. Rudy, hi
Hey,
everyone.
well, I'm so
Guys,
flattered by your introduction. Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, guys. Good evening, Peter.
wow, usually when I'm on here with Sean or with Glenn or other speakers, right, I'm very confident because I know I'm the better looking one, right? But tonight, oh no, Harvey Specter in the house. Harvey Specter in the house. Okay.
I hope so, man. Harvey Specter is really handsome, man. Another level, another level.
Yeah, by the way, that series just ended, right? So
Yeah, well, nice series, man. So inspiring, especially series one.
yeah, so guys, so I have Rudy here with me. Now, you guys may have heard from Rudy previously about his VCS model, how to look at businesses, entrepreneurship. But one thing many of you may not know about him is that right now he is very deep, all right? I would say knee deep, or maybe up to his neckline already, into the crypto and blockchain space. Okay. So, guys, once again, how many of you are investor? Can you type in C for cryptocurrency or BC in the blockchain sector? Can I see how many? Okay, so there's Galvin, there's Carol, Shirley as well. All right. What else? What else? Actually, not many people. Not many people. Right. And I think that's not surprising, right, Rudy? In Singapore, do you see a lot of people in that segment?
I think the segment is still very nascent. I just gave a talk on Seamless Asia. So it's really about adoption, right? And because such a space being so nascent, it creates also a lot of security questions. And that's why people are still standing on the fence when it comes to application. But obviously, when it comes to investing, then you get a lot of speculators and a lot of stuff going on and activities in that space as well.
Okay. So Rudy, maybe for the benefit of our audience here, right? I'll just start with a
Yeah.
very basic question, right?
Okay.
And
Okay.
it is this, we keep hearing people talk about cryptocurrency and then blockchain, right? Okay. What's the difference? What's the difference between these two?
So blockchain is really the core technologies, right? So the application of it could be expressed in so many forms. You can use it in logistic, because of its ability to be, decentralized, immutable. You can even put smart contracts on it. So there's a lot of application. So blockchain being the technology that provides the application. And one of these usage is crypto. So crypto
Mm-hmm.
use blockchain, to decentralize the distribution of currency. So that's really the core difference, right? One is describing the technology. The other one is describing the application of the technology.
Okay. So maybe we start with crypto first. I think that is something that's a bit easier for people to understand, right? So in the crypto space, we know there are no different type of cryptocurrencies. Of course, the most famous being Bitcoin, right? So maybe Rudy, can you maybe just share with us, right? How are the cryptocurrency the same, and what makes them so different if they are not?
So I think if you talk about vintage, it's really about which cryptocurrency actually came out first. So
Okay.
then that provides you, the difference in terms of the number of adoption, right? The earlier ones will have massive numbers of adoption, followed by, like Litecoins and so on and so forth. Then,
Right.
then when it comes down to more recent years, with the ICO, so basically people build their very own crypto coins, cryptocurrency using the Ethereum technology.
Yeah.
Then you will see a very different spin on how cryptocurrencies are appealing to the wider audience. Yeah.
Okay. So right now, I hear people say that right now basically the coins are just divided into two main groups. Like one is basically Ethereum, and the other one is probably Bitcoin. Is that true? Is that how we should see cryptocurrency?
Uh, not completely. I mean, within the Ethereum space is really a different application of the blockchain. So Ethereum really provides the infrastructure that allows you to slap a smart contract on top of it, right? So then you can apply it for different kind of solutions. Then obviously you also have very hardcore, blockchain application, but still within the crypto space that solve very very specific problems. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe
Yeah.
maybe we break it down into for investors, right? Now, a lot of people talking about investing in the cryptocurrency. I mean, mostly about Bitcoin or Ethereum. Now, can you explain to them what makes Bitcoin so attractive, right, to investors, and maybe even to someone like you who is a venture person, right? Like, what makes Bitcoin so attractive?
So I think one of the most attractive thing is you cannot rewind the clock, right? So traveling back in time is really our question. So Bitcoin has been one of the most, I would say, in fact, it was after when
It's
Satoshi
it's
actually
the first,
launched.
right? It's
It's
the
the
first,
very
right?
first.
Right.
Correct, correct. So it stood the test of time. You see, a
Mm,
lot of problems when it comes to cryptocurrency, right? During those days, right, it's a lot around security of the crypto exchange, or you call it the place where they hold the crypto coins.
mm,
Those so-called supposed to be very secure vaults got hacked
right.
into, right? But
Yeah.
then but then you don't really have problem with the crypto technology per se being
Mm.
applied onto BTC. So that's what I'm trying to explain is it stood the test of time. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
correct. But of course, with Bitcoin, there's still limitations and all that. That's why there's different expression of the same blockchain technology to solve different kind of things for different kind of function. But Bitcoin per se is already very established as a digital currency on its own. So you are looking at a market cap of $1 trillion and above. So it's something that I say it's very hard to go away. and regulations is one of the biggest considerations when you think about the threat to the survivability of Bitcoin, right? So with regulation again, is really about regulating the people that actually misuse the blockchain technology. So guys, so don't be too confused within BTC being everything. Cryptocurrencies has a lot of different coins to it, and you really cannot stop how people actually abuse the system. But then if we were to talk about BTC per se, then is your regular theft, like hacking into your wallets, or really could be just a phone phishing, like just getting you to pass them crypto coins, right? Or being tricked into doing that. Yeah. So things like that will happen with fiat as well, like normal dollars.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So actually, for Bitcoin, back then there was this very big scandal or news about Mt. Gox, where they kind of lost like tons of money, and a lot of people associate that to like Bitcoin being a scam, right? So you're saying that's not the case, right? In that case.
Yeah. So it's really about it's about the security when you talk about a system like this, right, that got hacked. But I think when you mention the word scam, it's more so much on actually where did the money really go? Was it really being hacked? Or there's this conspiracy theory that the owner, right, says that I'm so sorry.
He took the money.
Yeah. So he's now sitting somewhere drinking pina colada, enjoying the sun.
Okay. So the analogy is kind of like where we deposit our money, right? If let's say we deposit our money in DBS, another bank, right? Any bank, and let's say the bank get robbed and we lost our money. It has nothing to do with the money. The money is still sound money. It's still good money. It's just that the bank was not safe enough, was not secure enough to protect your money. And I think that's what happened in Mt. Gox's case, right?
Correct. So
yeah.
Yep. No, go ahead.
No, so I wanted to ask you, right? So this whole thing about Bitcoin surely got hacked before. Actually, I wanted to ask you, there was some saying or rumor going out there that actually Bitcoin has never been hacked as a currency itself. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. The core technology, right? Is an immutable, distributed P2P network to do the validation, right? So it's almost three nodes of validating one point. So the transactions is very hard for you to alter or edit. So that's the beauty about that whole technological process. However, once again, the part that really get hacked is the security part. And there's so many ways to break into a house, right? Yeah. You're not saying that the dollar that you keep in your house is not legit. It's just that, whether you can actually lock your down house from
you never lock your door, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Can. Okay, then in that case, right, why is that? I mean, I think this year we are at the 11 or 12 year, I think 12 years since Bitcoin started, because it started in 2008, right? The height of the global financial crisis. So why has adoption been still not widespread yet at this point in time? Given that you say that it's so good and things like that, why is adoption still so slow?
So I think a couple of things there is actually two types of adoption we're talking about, right? One above ground and one underground. Wow. Above ground, you're not seeing the infrastructure because there is a lot of accountability. So things like anti-money laundering, you don't want to use Bitcoin to facilitate funding of terrorism, right? So all these things are not what you see above ground. Then you will be thinking like, okay, if above ground, which is most of the world, right, are not adopting it, right, then Bitcoin should die on, right? Because there's no utility, right?
There's no utility. Yes, no one using it. Yes.
But to everybody's surprise, it's actually almost $1 trillion market cap, right? In terms of volume, and a lot of it is actually driven from the underground. So I'm not going to cover too much on this, but if you guys do a bit of research on dark web, then you will understand that actually in the dark web, Bitcoin is actually one of the main currency of use.
Yeah. So actually that's my main gripe about Bitcoin when I first started looking at it as an investment, right, is that, you know, if it's so used by people who are from the dark side of the world, like all the illegal stuff, right, all your drugs and whatnot, then as an investor, where is the value proposition for Bitcoin? Like, why should I invest in Bitcoin in this case? So maybe can you just share with us what's the investment case for Bitcoin?
Okay, so I think the beautiful part about Bitcoin is solve the reality of payments and money movements.
Yeah.
It's just that, you know, above ground, for you to make sure that you have all the regulations and all the facilities in check, right? It's just like setting up Visa or Master, right? It's very expensive infrastructure. But doesn't mean that where it is right now, it cannot do transfer money and transfer funds. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So somebody also mentioned Ripple XRP and all. So I think the function, the technology, the blockchain technology still does the job. Yeah. Of making sure that, you know, you have an immutable ledger, you know, to have a good accountability of movement of funds and all kind of things. But it's just expensive, in terms of regulations, in terms of application. Yeah.
Okay.
So however, from an investor perspective, I think maybe I just want to tickle, you know, everybody's mind a little bit and think about a few things lah. Okay, if you look at fiat currency, right?
Yeah.
So the fiat currency, if you look at it in circulation, that's a very nice chart. So in circulation, right, there is about, I think, 72 trillion, you know, worth it when we calculate in US dollars. You peg to US dollar, there's about 72 trillion, you know, market cap of money in both
and it's getting more and more.
Correct. Thanks to the fiats, right? But you see, you have circulations and you have deposits, right? And you have your cash management, the big sum deposits. So you have all this money, right? Capitalized. And the thing is, if you consider Bitcoin penetration as very, very low, as what you mentioned just now, say 15%, right? 15% of the world total usage, right? 15% of this valuation will give you a market capitalization about 10 to 11 trillion.
Yeah. I was just doing a Google search right now, right? I see that the Bitcoin right now is about 117 billion. This is Google lah.
Correct. So about there, right?
Yeah. And you show me the gold market cap, I was like, wow.
So if you see with about 11 trillion, you peg it against the fact that there's about 21 million Bitcoin in circulation.
Yeah.
About that. So that means at a low penetration of 15% adoption, and 21 million of Bitcoin, each Bitcoin potentially should be, you know, worth about 500,000, right? It's about 500,000. So you take about 11 trillion divided by 21 million, right? You should reach about 500,000.
That's
right?
when Bitcoin reaches the market cap like gold in that sense, or more.
No. I'm just talking about just normal fiat adoption. So
fiat adoption. Okay.
Correct. So you see, fiat itself, right, has 72 trillion, right?
So you take a 15% of that,
15%. So that means you say, okay, you take out 15% and replace with Bitcoin. Yeah. So because Bitcoin has scarcity, so it's about 21 million in circulation right now. And if you take 15% and replace with Bitcoin, you're talking about like about 11 trillion. 11 trillion divided by 21 million, you get about 500,000. So from that perspective,
now we are at 10,000, guys.
Yeah. Correct. So if you're bullish on Bitcoin, you believe that it's a technology that, you know, will gain higher penetration rate, you know, more people will use. Then with that belief, then I would say that Bitcoin haven't really fulfilled its true potential. Yeah.
Right.
So you're saying 10,000 just now, and we are looking at, you know, based on 15% penetration, is valuation at 11 million.
Yep.
Yeah, it's only half. It's half a million, not only, it's half a million, and it's
per coin.
And it's so far away from your $10,000 value right now.
Yeah. But Rudy, maybe I just push back a bit, right? Is that why would Bitcoin eventually, how do you see Bitcoin, right, even reach 15%? Because the truth is this, right? I mean, we talked about this before this interview, right? My main question is, I don't think people will use Bitcoin to do payments, because actually it's not very fast.
Yeah.
Right. When you
So
do Bitcoin transaction now, it probably takes you like close to 30 minutes to get it done at the current rate, right?
correct.
Per transaction. So why would people transact to it? When I swipe Visa now, right, it's instant, it's almost instant,
yeah, so there is actually already a lot of solution.
Yeah.
Let's use the one that you just brought up on Visa, right? So
Mm,
there's a lot of partnerships whereby you can on your app just okay, say for example now you bought all your bitcoins in Sing dollars, you are in Singapore and you want to go to Thailand for a holiday trip.
mm.
Um, and some of these apps actually allowed you to sell off your bitcoins and they will actually convert it into Thai baht.
Right.
This Thai baht is deposited onto your card, so they will also provide you with a card, right?
Okay.
So this is like a prepaid card, right? So you can actually
Mm.
go to the cash machine and draw out money in Thai baht, or you can pay, locally with your so-called prepaid card. Yeah. So it acts like your credit card. So you see, the thing is, yes, you might think that the adoption rate might be slow, but you cannot stop the work around technology.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, I was reading up on on cryptocurrency before this interview to do my homework lah. Then I saw this news, and wow, it was really quite interesting because I never thought that we will hit this point so quickly, right? Is that they are actually coming up with branded cryptocurrency cards, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so for those of you who are not in the cryptocurrency, say Binance is one of the biggest guys, right, in the world. I think it's Binance versus Bitmain, right? Probably.
Yeah.
Right.
So Bitmain is really huge in terms of crypto mining.
Yeah.
So they actually, if you see the N miner and all that, right, the Bitmain mining machines, yeah. So Chinese was actually very very bullish on bitcoins. They created a lot of mining farms in China, yeah, because overheads are low, electricities are cheap. Space is of course so much cheaper than Singapore, right? Real estate, yeah. So they're very very big on bit mining farm.
Okay. So maybe now let's take the opportunity to answer some questions. So I see some of them, right? So Yoksan is asking, right? So which one is safer, more safe, for investors, for beginners to invest, right? Bitcoin versus blockchain. Wow. or like a crypto ETF. I think there's crypto ETF right now. So yeah, Rudy, maybe in your view, right? Which one will be safer?
I think there's two questions there. So Bitcoin versus BTC, versus blockchain,
Yeah.
and then ETF formats, right? So I think the first question was actually quite a good question. You're asking about technology. So BTC versus the application of blockchain technology.
Mm,
And ladies and gentlemen, I really cannot not point this out that always be careful about all these ICO being offered out there. Um, Ask about what's the technology being used for. So things like you must understand, is there a very active community, a GitHub kind of community, constantly doing development and improving the technology and its application, right? Things like look at the team, right? So a very scammy team is like sometimes you put a celebrity there. I can't remember. There's one. Yeah, in the team, it's like for what? you know.
yeah.
So be very careful about this scammy stuff. And the other one is like a pyramid scheme, right? Like if you stake your coins, at what tier you get how many percent. All these things that has like very money game-ish kind of approach. Be very cautious. So very good
Mm,
question there. You bring up blockchain versus BTC. Then I think what you're trying to say is mainstream coins versus coins that's being
ICO.
applied for
Yeah.
ICOs and all kind of stuff. So yes, so look at the blockchain technology. What is it applied for? Is there a good team behind? Or is it skirting around all the technology and telling you all these marketing stories and earn money quick kind of yeah. So be very careful about all those. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, right. When I read some of the ICO things, I think just now, Rudy, you mentioned something about why people launch the ICO and they are so ready to get to an exchange, right? Maybe can you share that with the audience? Like, because a lot of people when they see the coin is already on the exchange, right, they're like, oh, legit, right? Like listed company. Right?
Yeah, so it's actually also, yeah, correct, very very important point out. So the thing is, not everything that you see on the exchange, right, is like how you see it on the stock exchange in Singapore, right, where it's
Yeah.
super legit, right? You have to go through the IPO process, but even with that, you still get, the China hustler, right? So a lot of IPO stocks that turn out to be, scam, like just empty shells. So if that can happen, right, so the more for ICO. So basically, this exchange are actually helped by businesses. So it's not like a government fully regulated exchange. In one country you can have multiple exchanges, right? Binance is one, Gemini in US, you have so many exchanges.
Yep.
So don't believe in all the coins you see on an exchange,
Mm.
right? Always do your due diligence. Always understand, the three things I've shared with you. What is the underlying use of the technology? Whether is there a very active technological team that's constantly improving and enhancing the application of the technology, and also question the team behind that whole technology, right?
Yep.
These are some of the tips. The other thing also, right, to look out for, right, guys, is when you look at an exchange, right, just like when you look at stocks, also
Mm.
look at the trading volume. Some of the trading
Ah,
volumes can be ridiculous.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, it can be
Like
very high on certain. Yeah,
ridiculously, ridiculously volatile.
correct. Which when you see the trading volume and you compare other sites, it don't tally up, and it also doesn't tally to the market realities, right? So the market should not be reacting this way, right? So then you must make sure that you catch a red flag already. Yeah.
Mm, okay, okay, cool. Okay, we have another question by Moses. I think that's a good question, right? Because a lot of times, as investors, our own, right, when we look at Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency, it doesn't seem like they have a real intrinsic value, right? And the first thing on my mind is, hey, maybe this is like the next tulip bubble, lah, right? When people rush into buying something that actually has no value. So maybe Rudy, right? Maybe can you just help Moses out here? Like how should we view Bitcoin and no, is it something just of because of FOMO that's why it's rushing so high?
I think it's part FOMO, so the less informed ones, and obviously for the kind of trading volume, right, you are getting a lot of institutional investments. I mean, you know, even tonight's chat group combine power all go in, right? You can't really move much. Yeah. So I cannot just say it's pure FOMO. That there's actually reasons behind the trading volume of BTC. Yeah. So I think back to my examples of looking it against your fiat currencies, right?
Mm,
There is two consideration. One is seeing it as a currency. The other one is seeing it as a stored value, right? So like gold. Just now you guys mentioned gold, right?
yep.
So when you really need money, and your fiat is dropping like mad, right?
Mm,
You still can actually store value in this so-called, maybe if I may, right, digital gold, and sell it off in exchange for fiat. You know, so there is actually real currency features to Bitcoin right now that gives it the value it commands. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay. All right. Hey, Steve, I think Steven's question is very good. So right now we are seeing governments, right, especially China, being very active in the field. They come up with their own, they call it digital yuan, I think, right? So Rudy, in your view, right, how would this change the cryptocurrency landscape? Would for example the digital yuan sort of like push Bitcoin into irrelevance because right now the government is like, hey, no need to buy Bitcoin, just buy my digital yuan, right? So what are your
yeah.
views on that?
I think, and these are just my pure views, lah. So I think the beautiful part about BTC, right, is it's a global currency,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the whole idea, right? You don't want to. The whole vision and the whole idea about having a decentralized currency is the freedom of using it. So you don't want any particular government, not even the U.S. government, right, to control, this currency. Yeah.
Not
So
even
so
Donald Trump.
he can try, man.
He will. He will.
Yeah, yeah. So it's really about having this, liberation of having, a global currency. I think,
Mm,
and who was it? The very famous guy who died because he wanted to mint gold coins. So he
Oh.
felt that, yeah.
I can't remember. Okay, I know
Yeah,
what you're
yeah,
talking about.
yeah. Just
Okay.
yeah, 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 yeah. If you guys can remember, just put his name there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Very
can
cool
remember
guy. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So Pete, you know what I mean, lah. So the thing is, the beautiful part about Bitcoin is the fact that it's a global currency. It has the ability to cross border. Yeah, and not be restricted too much in terms of policies and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. But do you think in this case, right, because it's so kind of impossible to regulate, unregulatable, that the government will outlaw it? Is there such a possibility? Because that's a real fear for me, as a Bitcoin investor. If one day the government say this is not legal, this is you can't use this at all. If you're found using this, we're gonna like catch you or something. What do you think? Is that possible?
Well, I think uh, the question is which government wants to do that, right? I mean, if you look at the cost of policing that. So tonight, let's say for example, it's illegal, and tonight between you and me, we just decided to trade crypto, right? That's
Yeah,
so hard.
I gave him 1 Bitcoin to come on this interview.
So you get the point. It's actually because it's not even fiat, right?
Yeah.
It's even harder to track, right? Fiat, when it's paper form and not okay. Even people try to launder money, putting them in bags and try to yeah, but that is such a hassle. Can you imagine when there's no bags and all that? It's just a coin and between two wallets. It's like your wallet and my wallet, and I just send it across to you. So I think it's a good point there, regulation, but I think, Pete, it has to be a smart regulation. So
Right.
it's just that the governments, need to work together, to create a backbone, right, of how do you actually respond uh to the regulatory requirements of using this currency, so
Right.
that people like you and me, right, got very clear, like what's right and what's not right to do, right? Things like that when it comes to using the coins.
Right. So it's more important for the government to embrace it rather than to outlaw it, in this case.
Yeah, I think change is the only thing constant. Even with currencies like this, yeah, it has already proven adoption. So I think it's very costly to reinvent the whole cycle. Yeah.
Okay. But do you think Bitcoin will take over how we make payments totally? Like, we literally stop using fiat. We just go full on Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Do you see that happening?
So there's two school of thoughts, lah. Basically, you have a working existing infrastructure. So you're talking about change of behavior, right? So that takes time, and I don't think it's gonna happen in the next 5 years. Yeah.
Okay. I see.
Then
Okay.
correct, and then of course you have the other school of thought, which is the capitalist, right? Where when you have a more a more efficient currency system, it drives adoption from the business side of things. So I want to reduce my overhead and all that. I want to use something that is faster and cheaper, right? So that will be driving applications. Yeah. So it's
Oh, okay.
yeah. So you have behavior, and then you have economics.
Right. Okay. So I think Lam Pinto has a good question, right? With Bitcoin being so volatile, right? Because I think a couple months ago it was like $6,000 lah. Then now
Yeah.
per Bitcoin is 10,000 US dollars. So when it's so volatile, right? How to use as money? Cannot be like tonight my wallet has $100, then tomorrow suddenly it becomes like less than $30, right? So do you think
Actually,
volatility is a problem for Bitcoin to be adopted?
no. So I'm just answering the question specifically because Mr. Lam did mention that is it a usable currency, right? So
Yeah.
so as a currency, let's say, Pete, you sell me this pen for say 1 Bitcoin. It's a very expensive pen,
Yo.
and I yeah, and I send the money to you, right? So did it solve our problem? You want to sell me a pen, you want to receive funds, right? And you got
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
So can it be used as a currency? It can, right? So I can send the money to you, and you're
Yeah.
happy also, right? You receive your money. Yeah. Now I think what Mr. Lam's real concern is, can it be used as a store of value?
Okay, guys, very, very subtle but very key difference. So I'm gonna put it in the banner. Okay, continue to say.
So I think with store of value is you of course are very resistant to volatility, because today your $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, right, might worth 8,000 if you're unlucky, and might worth 12,000, 15,000 if you're very lucky. Yeah. So as a store of value, then not so much. So that's why you should take a more bullish view on Bitcoin. But as a currency, I don't see it as an issue. It's just a way of trading, a means for us to agree on payments and transfer the funds across. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if it's a trader instrument, actually the more volatile, the more happy people are, lah. Right? Right?
That's very true.
Because they can trade the difference, they can do some spread over there. Okay. So okay,
Right.
sorry. This is not a trading lesson, but by the way, okay.
No,
Uh
that's very interesting point there, because early days of Bitcoin, right? People actually arbitrage between the exchanges, so they might buy a Bitcoin in Korea exchange and sell it to the
uh,
US exchange, right, and earn the spread, because
but
the time
but now cannot already.
cannot already lah. Now very regulated. So yeah, you see
Yeah.
again, right? Regulations are stepping in, yeah, to just making sure that things are very fair
Yeah,
and nobody's
yeah,
abusing
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
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 absolutely, man. Like when I first got into context with Bitcoin in 2010, back then I was studying lah, and it was because I was playing an online game, and I wanted to buy an item from the other person, and the person was like, "Hey, I only take this thing called BTC." I'm like, "What is this thing?" So I went through the trouble to go and buy 5 of this coin, and so I, because I don't know how much he's going to charge me, so I said, like, I just buy 5 in case he want me to pay more. Then in the end he only took 1. Right, the payment was one BTC. So that time I had 4 BTC, and I thought like, wow, I just wasted my money, because the time one Bitcoin was around $25.
yeah.
So I was like, wow, I wasted like $100, but
Look, Peter is trying to tell us. Peter is trying to tell us that he has $40,000 right now.
no, but the thing is this, I fully agree with what Lampinto is saying, right? Is that it's so weird. Like how can you use it as a currency when it fluctuates so much? Like of course it went up to my favor, but it could have jolly well gone down to zero, right? So I think that was one thing that I find very hard to comprehend, because imagine I bought something or I sold something and I got Bitcoin and I sold away something that's valuable, right? And then tomorrow this value drop, this value dropped by 30%. Then I'm like, huh? Like how what's
Yeah.
happening?
So I don't think it's fair to Bitcoin to say it will rise and drop by 20-30%. I mean, it
Yeah.
still takes time to decay or inflate, right? So
Yeah. Now it's a lot better. Now it's a lot better.
yeah. So I think it's more of a store of value issues that we are trying to address, lah. Like you just worry that when it drops, right, and you have not liquidate your coins, right, then the value is also not there already, lah. It decays, lah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
but
but the thing is, Bitcoin, there's a limit, right? You were saying that the maximum is 21 million, and I hear a lot of people saying that that is like the sacrosanct thing about Bitcoin, lah. That's why they have a lot of faith in it, because it's not like fiat that you can just keep on printing non-stop, lah. Right?
correct. So there's no government involvement, no control whatsoever in terms of, not say control, but interference, lah. Yeah. So Bitcoin has already built in its technology, and it creates that whole scarcity. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So now I just want to bring up the chart of Bitcoin prices to share everybody. I just have a sense. Right now it's actually almost as high as February this year, right before COVID-19 happened. So we are about $10,300 now. In fact, it's still moving. Can you see the price is like moving as we talk? So it's very interesting.
Yes.
And yeah, I think just about like a few weeks ago it was 9,000. So actually it went up by close to 10%
Yeah.
over like 2 weeks, right? And in
Yeah.
fact,
Yeah.
right now we are seeing it increase by 3%, 3.68%. Right?
Yes.
So that's the part that I was like, wow. Okay. So yeah, so on the topic of price, right? So Rudy, maybe this one, okay, it's more of you say I say, I don't know who is right now, but previously we saw Bitcoin run up all the way to $20,000. So similar to Carol's question, right? What do you think? What's your own personal price target for Bitcoin? If there's something that I want to force you to give us a number.
Personally, I am not bullish on Bitcoin. because I do look at it as a currency with real usage lah. Obviously, there's hoarders and all that, but if you look at it technically, it should be just like any other currency. So when the economy is bad, right, then spending is bad. So like for example, you need to buy bitcoins to buy your digital avatar stuff, right? So yeah, so there's usage for it. It's just that right now the market is also reacting very strangely. It seems to be. I remember the session that you had with was it with Sean?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
the bullish and the bearish. Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So there's the same tension in my head as well, being bullish or bearish, bearish, right, given what the economic situation is right now. Yeah. So personally, I think that Bitcoin should not be rising the way it is. But if you look at the charts, you can see that once it have crossed the 10K point, it has a very high chance of continued growth in that direction.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It seems like right now is really at what technically what I would call a resistance point, lah. Right.
Correct.
And
Correct.
and if you were to pierce through that, it's very likely, the previous high was almost like $20,000.
Yes.
So yeah, for everyone's sake, for your sake, my sake, let's hope it goes up to $500,000, like what you mentioned. Right? Right. But let's transit the conversation, right, to the application of Bitcoin blockchain. I think that is very important because what we saw even in Singapore, the Singapore government, right, they have this thing called the Project Ubin, right, which is quite a lame name lah. But anyway, they are actually trying to put use of blockchain technology and distributed ledger technology to actually settle Singapore dollars payment. Right. So this is the part where I want to ask Rudy for your opinion, right? Like how would this change how we view money and how we use money? Does it matter or just a gimmicky thing?
No, I think it works hand in hand. Because with the digital transfer, all that, right? It makes onboarding so much faster. It makes verification so much quicker. It's just that it's also a change of culture. It's a matter of adoption and a change of behavior in order to adopt such a transaction. Yeah.
Okay. So do you see
Yeah.
like more government going in to adopt this, and is that good news for the fintech world in general from where you were from previously?
Well, I think there's also again many school of thoughts, because you see, for the government, obviously, they love this idea, right, that you have a lot more transparency in terms of how the funds moved and all. But then you see the culture again, for the bank, is predicated on privacy. So honestly, I don't want people to know, how much I own, how much I spend, how frequently I spend, what I spend on. So so
Oh, so Project
so
Ubin is actually a overlord. No, I'm just kidding.
no.
Mr.
I'm
Hain,
not
don't catch
saying.
me. I'm so sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, it's really a matter of what is being committed
Yeah.
on the ledger, right? So
Mm.
obviously Project Ubin is still quite conservative in that sense. Yeah.
Oh, it's still conservative. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, cool. Yeah, so let's see questions. So yeah, actually Mr. Lam has a very good view, right? And maybe I just rephrase his question. So with the central bank keep on printing money, but we know that we cannot increase the supply of Bitcoin, right? How would central bank adopt it? Because once they adopt it, right, then they lost the ability to print money, Right. So is that something that you think about as someone that is in the crypto and venture world? Is that something of a concern?
Yeah, I think there's this real pain and this is real struggle for central banks. But at the moment, I think they use it more as a vehicle to resolve some of the back end, they call it the settlement issues. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
what Project Ubin is supposed to do lah. So not so much
Correct.
of using it to give money, but to settle payment between you and me lah. Right.
Correct. So until they could resolve some of these fundamental economic issues, then there's again, the other jump
Mm.
whereby you see a massive adoption because from the business perspective, it's very easy, it's very straightforward. The bank is going to accept and be custodian of the so-called nationally recognized crypto coins lah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we're coming to almost 1 hour, right? So really, if I were to ask you as a retail investor, someone that is not familiar with Bitcoin, not familiar with any cryptocurrency, how would you, maybe not advise, but how would you suggest I start, or should I even include them in my portfolio?
Yeah, so I think the three golden rule of how you guys normally invest in stock, right, should applies, right? So
Yeah.
in terms of exposure, like do not invest more than you could afford, right? But take from the perspective of like a small allocation, like maybe 2 to 5% of your
Okay.
portfolio.
Okay.
Yeah. So something
Two to
that
five percent. Okay.
yeah, uh, they call it the Pascal wager, right? It's actually the Pascal wager is quite interesting. Sorry.
Hey,
So the
come.
cost of yeah
You're from
the
Stanford, man. Let's hear
no
it.
no. So so the risk of not believing in God, right, were far greater than the cost of believing in God. So basically, what I'm trying to say is,
Ah.
what if if only expose 2 to 5% of your total allocation, right, of your portfolio, right, the upside is far more attractive lah than totally not doing anything at all. That's what I'm trying to say lah.
I
Yeah,
see. Okay,
yeah.
okay. Hey guys, we are not religious. We are not being religious here. Although I'm a religious person, but we are being having a secular discussion. Okay, great. So yeah,
Yeah.
I 100% agree, man. Like I was just telling some of the students, I'll share exactly how I personally do it. Right, is that I actually don't participate in any of the ICOs because when I read the ICOs and I treat it like a company, right? Like what you mentioned, you must have good management, a good team of people working on it, and the business case must be sound. Like. It cannot be just mumbo jumbo and all marketing gimmick, right? They must have a real use case for their item. And most of them is like just rubbish, lah, to be honest. Right. So
Correct,
how I
correct.
do it is I literally, right, I just invest in BTC and I just put a small allocation of my overall portfolio. And the idea is actually I didn't know there's I didn't think of the Pascal ledger, right? Is that the risk of me investing, I mean, how much can I lose if I invest like 3%? Right now, that's my allocation size, 3%, right? I will lose 3%. Which right now in the stock market, my portfolio probably swing 3% on a daily basis. Right? But if Bitcoin actually, come to fruition, like what we mentioned, going up to 500,000, right? Then wow, the upside is crazy. The upside is super, 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 super high. Right.
Mm.
So that's how I look at it. And I think one thing that gives me a lot of confidence or I believe Bitcoin potentially may do better. Now, this is just my views, guys. So please don't take this as investment advice, right? Is that the very fact that Bitcoin has never been hacked before is a very strong testament of how powerful as a currency it is, right? Because you cannot say the same for a lot of other things in the world, right? And especially when it comes to money holding value, you want something as solid as gold, right? And right now, gold, even though we don't trade gold, right? Like there's no way I can pay Rudy using a gold bar if he sell me that pen, right? But gold is of great value, right? In fact, right now, gold, if you look at it, is at an all-time high about 1,700 per ounce, US
Mm.
dollars.
Gold has
And
always
gold,
been a good store of value.
yeah, it's a good store of value, and the supply is kind of limited because it's so slow and hard for us to dig out more gold. And that's where I see the parallel between gold and BTC lah. That's how I treat it. So when I invest in BTC, I don't think of it as like it will eventually become like the next Visa or Mastercard. No, not really. To me, it really behaves a lot more like gold than anything else.
But
Right.
but that's a very interesting point also that you brought up, because if you look at gold, right, market cap is about $9 trillion,
Yeah.
and then
Right now it's about
and
9
then
trillion. Yes.
and then BTC is about 0.2, 0 point about there lah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
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 I'm looking at 90 times potential. Hopefully it is.
correct. So yeah, I think if people look at Bitcoin like digital gold, then there's another conversation in terms of why they are investing in BTC lor.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Wow, the gold just went up to 1,900. Serious? Wow. Okay, this is not a go podcast. This is a cryptocurrency session. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys. So you see, right? Even for gold, something that is so non-transferable, right? Like, and people pay money to store it, right? Yeah, it can even reach a market cap of $9 trillion. So I see some potential in Bitcoin. To be honest, will it become like $9 trillion like gold? I think the chances are not super high, but like what Rudy always says, just take a percentage of it. I think that's pretty good already, right? Because it's a 90 times, it's a 90 times X, it's like crazy.
And if
Okay.
you take a bullish view on this in the longer term, right, you can always do dollar cost averaging one. So every time when you see there's an opportunity to buy in at lower price, just go in lah, Yeah. So this is
Yeah.
another idea. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so guys, really thank you so much for participating in this conversation. I just want to really thank Rudy once again for being here, right? Being so generous with his time and explaining to us, and especially myself, being a layman in this segment, right, on investing in cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. Okay, so guys, do y'all learn a lot from this session? If you learn a lot, can you type in yes? Okay, type in yes. Now, okay, maybe quick one, Rudy. I think this is a good question, right? So now let's say people are convinced, people want to start, right? How should they get started? Now, what platform do you personally use, and how you and how you buy Bitcoin and things like that?
So basically, you buy your Bitcoins mostly from exchanges. Uh, Please check and validate, from your own research that this Bitcoin, right, has legitimate trading volume. It
Okay.
has passed all the regulatory checks. Uh, don't be upset when the KYC process is very tedious. That means that they are actually doing their job.
Yeah.
And also and also think about like convenience. So because you are buying in Sing dollars, right? So give chance to some of the exchange that actually dealt in Sing dollars. Yeah. I'm trying not to promote any exchanges. But
What do you use?
some of
What do you use yourself personally?
I use Binance SG, so you can take a look at that. Yeah.
Binance SG. Okay, can.
Mhm.
I'll put
Yeah,
that. I'll put that
not
at the
not
screen.
not Binance internationally, or yeah, Binance SG.
Okay. So they take Singapore dollars, is it?
Correct. Yeah.
Right. Okay, guys. For me personally, I use Gemini.
Oh, that's good
Uh,
also. That
yeah,
is that is very good.
that's quite legit also lah. But the only
Very
problem with
legit.
Gemini is that you have to fund it in USD.
Correct.
So because
So
I have a multi-currency account, so it's a bit easier for me to do that. Yeah.
absolutely. Otherwise, there's that whole jump lah. Because if you're not spending in US dollars, then why create another jump for yourself in terms of spread? Yeah.
Correct. And guys, a lot of times, right? When I first started, the thing is this: don't think of it as, oh no, I want to throw in a lot of money and things like that. No. Like just buy like a few dollars or 50. You can buy as little as $50 if I'm not wrong, right? Of US
That's right.
dollars worth, and
That's
just
right.
try it out and just go through the whole process. Buying the. Okay, let me see if I have it here. Okay. Like, so you can go and buy the Bitcoin, then you can go ahead and store it in your cold wallet and things like that, right? So if you want to buy it, this is a Nano Ledger S.
Wow. We
Yeah.
we all put our ledger next to us.
No, because I very scared one day if my helper took this and throw it away, I'll cry. No.
She thought it's some discarded thumb drive. Wow.
Yeah. So I always tell her, do not open the box that says that looks like this. No, but guys, really the cool thing is go through the whole process, right? And buy the coin, transfer it to your wallet, store it into the thing, take it out, and try it. Because only by doing that, then how it works, and that slowly builds your confidence in the investment of cryptocurrency. But once again, please everyone, invest safely, invest with your due diligence. Okay, all right. So yeah, that is called a cold wallet, exactly, right? Like what Li Ling is saying, that's exactly right. That's the cold wallet. Okay, cool. All right, so we come to the end of the session now. I just want to do a very quick sharing with all of you again. Is that we're gonna have a very special session. Let me add it to the stream. Yeah, we're gonna have a very special session on 1st August. Okay, 1st August. So I'm going to key that in right now. Oops. Oh, wait. Let me copy the link for you guys. Okay, so it is in the chat right now. Okay, you can see that is bit.ly/ETF workshop. Now, what is this? This is actually a free workshop on. Oh, thanks. Okay, so this is actually a free workshop on how to investing, not in cryptocurrency, not in blockchain, but in something that we are way more familiar with, which is exchange traded fund, ETF. All right. So if you have never invested in ETF or you've been wondering what is ETF, how does it work, how to even get started on ETF, right? One of our speaker, Chloe is going to do a 1-day workshop. Okay, not one day, 2-hour workshop, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. to show you and share with you how to invest in this ETF in the whole stock market, and it's free. All right, it's a free workshop. So right now, go to the link and you can straight away register for the workshop on 1st of August. Okay, so that's all I want to share with you guys.
Hey, Pete.
Yeah.
Sorry. I have a quick question for the audience.
Yes,
are you guys actually are you guys interested to learn more about cryptocurrencies, and which aspect of it? Yeah. So just type in, your thoughts, right? Yeah.
Wow. Someone's asking what if my co-wallet spoil. No, but there's actually a lot of ways to recover your coin. Even if the co-wallet. Okay, just now I was joking. Literally, even if the co-wallet I throw into the toilet bowl, right? There are still ways for me to recover the Bitcoin. And that's why it's so important for you to go through the process, right? Okay. Okay, so guys, do you all want to have more sessions with Rudy? All right. Wow, Rudy, overwhelming.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so Rudy, just share then what do you have in mind for all of them?
Yeah, maybe we can do some, preliminary prep classes, or on maybe how to start a trading account. Like there are some questions. Is it Gemini? Is it Binance?
Step by step guide.
Correct. So maybe from first episode to the 5th, right, or something like that, right? People would have already learned how to trade. Again, don't throw all your money, right? When you don't understand the thing. So I think the whole purpose is to educate the community. What's this about? And allocate 2 to 5%, and at least you enjoy the upside when there's still the upside, lah. Yeah. So I think if people are interested, why don't we facilitate this conversation, and let people have the ability to experience cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, sure. Are you referring to me?
Let's do it together,
Okay. So yeah, when an insider gives you an opportunity, right, I'm always up for it, right? So guys, I'm always talking about taking action, and I'm gonna take action when there's an opportunity. So definitely, right, Rudy, thanks for inviting me. Well, that comes as a surprise, man. I was like thinking, okay, when is Rudy gonna do the session? Maybe I'll share the date. Then suddenly he's like, you do it with me. I was like, what? Yeah, very flattered. So guys, we're gonna put out more content for you guys, right? And just let us know, right? Put in the comments later, even after this session, what are the key things you want to know? Because for Rudy, right, he's such an expert in it. Like the question that we think of maybe to him is like baby steps. So just tell us what are the things you need. We can, if we need to go down to the basic level, we can go down to the basic level, right? But really, we just want to make sure that everybody has the same opportunity to get started on this, right? Whether is this the FOMO or is this a real opportunity, no one knows for sure. But once again, the risk of not participating seems to be a lot higher than you participating, right? Okay. So yeah, so definitely I'll be in discussion with Rudy and we'll let you guys know. So once again, let us know what you want to learn, what you want to find out in the comments below, okay? So I'll just end off by Patricia's comment. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you for including me in the hung category as well. Yeah. Right. All right. So definitely we'll do this, like, how to trade BTC and things like that. And I think recently, Rudy also shared with me a very cool platform called Matrix Pot. So perhaps maybe the next round we can go through that. I was just playing with it today. Very interesting. You can actually get quite good returns. Even on a how to say quite a safe way. I still cannot think of the downside to it, but of course everything takes time to find out. Yeah. Okay, so guys, definitely we'll talk about more of such things. So continue let us know, and We'll give you all as much as we can about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Of course, I'll rely a lot on Rudy as well. Rudy as well. Okay. All right. So if not, thank you, everyone. Every time I want to do this, right, I always get it wrong. No, like no matter when I do it. So it's this side. Okay. So guys, once again, thank you so much for being here. Rudy, thanks for being here to share with us about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. And we'll see you all in the next live stream. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye bye.